Welcome back to the Herbal Intelligence Podcast. I'm Daniel.
I'm Daphne. We are so happy to have you back with us today. So, Daniel, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're going to dive into something that everyone has experienced at least once, and that is stress, anxiety, and perhaps inflammation. I used to think of stress as something mental, like being overwhelmed or having too much on your plate. But it's also physical. It shows up in your gut, in your skin, in your sleep.
You can never know how much actually stress can disrupt your hormones, both for male and female. If you want to address the issues that are causing you maybe to feel that painful periods or the symptoms of infertility, you will find that stress is one of those, and you will need to find ways of balancing your cortisol hormone.
Yeah, and stress is one of those sneaky little buggers. Like you won't actually know. Like you may feel increased blood pressure or you're always on the go, but it doesn't really just manifest itself as just like stress, like something that you can just say, oh, I can handle this or I can get rid of it. It's sneaky in the way that it causes inflammation in your gut or in other parts of your body where you just get this constant increase of inflammation, and it slows the process down of your other bodily functions. If stress gets really bad, it can also manifest in a plethora of different ways, allergies. But the most common symptom I would say with the stress with the digestion, as well as with like the bloating after eating, indigestion, GERD. So like your IBS and your digestive issues.
It will also make you to lose your hair, thinning hair. Oh, blood pressure is also a good one because most probably it increases the heart rate, and that's how you end up getting the abnormal heartbeats and all those. Everything we are talking about is linked to stress.
Yeah, so if you're constantly under like chronic stress, your body stays in that fight or flight mode. So it messes with your digestion, as we mentioned, which will eventually weaken your immune system and increase the systemic inflammation. So when we talk about stomach issues, so this will also reduce the production of the enzymes that help your body break down food. So stress is, you can think of it like slowing your system down, since it's not able to process as much food. So your stomach acid will slow down, acid production. The system for digestion in your gut will also slow down. So this is going to lead to like bloating and IBS-like symptoms. As Daphne mentioned, then there's the cortisol, the stress hormone, which will then throw off your sleep cycle and causes a bunch of other different issues as well down the road.
Yeah, actually, we need to talk about some of the common stressors. We have people in our life that will just cause that stress.
And you
And
can't get rid of that special someone that's the cause of
yeah, that's the
it.
cause. So we need to be nice to each other because you may stress someone and you think, oh, it's good, but their feelings and what they are going through in the process of them processing what's going on and analyzing it is going to give them the stress, and from that they will start getting anxiety when they have to approach you, and we don't want any of that to happen because, as Daniel mentioned, it will slow down your digestion, and everything starts from the gut because it fuels your entire system. So we need to make sure that we are fine. And if you're feeling in that situation, what are some of the herbs someone can take?
Yeah, so we can dive into like what the experts are saying. So there is a study on rhodiola. So this one was published in the Bentham Science for current clinical pharmacology research. So this is in 2009. It showed that it helped reduce stress-related fatigue in physicians. So these are real life high stress situations. So you can think of your doctor who's on call, or the doctor who's working a 70-hour shift, 72-hour shift, or something where it's constantly go go go. One trauma response to another. This study showed that taking this rhodiola really helped with the lowering the cortisol levels. There is another study on ashwagandha, which is one of our personal favorites, and this study was in the Indian Journal of Psychological Medicine. So this one was published in 2012. it found significantly reduced stress, better sleep, and lower cortisol in just 8 weeks. This stuff works when used consistently. The only side effect with this one, because we're gonna tell you both sides of the equation, we'll just
Mm-hmm.
not tell you all the perks, is that it's also diuretic. So if you're taking this to calm down before sleep, let's say, just keep that in mind that you may want to do it an hour, maybe hour and a half before you sleep, because it will make you go to the bathroom more regularly than you would. Um, yeah.
Yeah, and another thing, do you have to take it every single day or you take it as needed?
So according to the study, it was mentioned that consistent use of this is best. We know from taking herbs on our own wellness journey that a lot of times you need that 7 days or longer to take something for your body to, first of all, figure out like what is this. Like it's not going to really know what it is when you first take it. For sure, you're going to get some benefit out of it. Some people report getting almost immediate relief, but it's that constant use that your body sees it, recognizes it, and then it's more apt to be able to use it more fully.
Yeah, and another question, Daniel. So when someone is stressed, and I know stress can lead to having prolonged panic attacks, and maybe they are not able to eat or drink. So how should they address that?
Yeah, so you can take ashwagandha in many different ways. You could take it by pill form. You could get it's a root, so you could get it roasted. You can make it into a tea. That really helps. And how it helps is that it helps your body regulate cortisol, and also supports the adrenals. So you're not going to want to keep your cortisol levels high. So you have like everyone has like a baseline cortisol level from my understanding. And for men specifically, like when you wake up, you're going to get a shot of that cortisol as soon as you wake up, and it's to prep you for the day. But if and this is for men and women, if you're constantly being having to experience stress in your work or your day-to-day life, like that over time that is going to create a higher baseline cortisol levels. So you're going to want, just like you're getting constant inundated with stress inducing activities, you're going to want to also um, induce stress relieving activities. So in addition to taking herbs, for example, other things you can do to help reduce this would be like physical activity, going for a walk,
Yeah.
um,
Taking a cold shower.
taking a cold shower. If you
Yeah.
can't do that, like you're at work, I mean, it'd be kind of funny to try to leave for that, but you could get an ice pack and just put that on the
Mm-hmm.
back of your neck. That'll help reset the vagus nerve back there. Yeah, going for a walk 20 minutes if you can take a 20-minute break. But the most important thing is to break the neural loop that's in the stress that is caused. If it gets to as bad as you brought up a panic attack, you don't want to make the body run through that full neural circuit of the stress of the panic attack. I mean, because it can affect your breathing, it can affect how you function for the day. It could ruin your day. So you want to stay grounded. Talk to somebody. It's great to have someone around that you can shoot ideas with. Like, hey, I'm going through something. Calm down. And we joked earlier that we hope that they're not also the cause of the stress. So you want to make sure that you handle everything that you can and adjust it as needed.
And also, I always tell Daniel, if you something is stressing you, you have to cut it off if it's possible. You just have to let the stressors go and just make sure you regain yourself back. Because it's like falling in a pit hole and coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It takes time. And that means you're taking time to work on yourself. Like it's like you're out of your body looking at yourself and you're doing a full-time job helping yourself get back to where you used to be. So cutting off the stressors is always good.
And be patient with yourself. Like
Yeah.
like you didn't get the stress in a day, so you're not going to get rid of it in a day. It's going to take time. It's going to be consistent effort, making these little progresses, uh, creating your habits, and creating good habits. And then just after a few weeks, it should get easier and easier and easier. And before you know it, your whole day is stress relieving instead of stress causing.
Yeah. And also for us women, we tend to be, let's say if you're, because I will speak to what we've been through.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you're trying to have a baby. So you will be starting, you track your ovulation, and that time you're very happy. And then 5 days, if you're doing the temperature, I think that's the one thing, tracking your body basal thermometer
Yeah.
temperature. Yes, yeah. So tracking your temperature, and then on day 9 post ovulation, and that you expect the implantation, right, to happen,
Right.
the dip, and then it doesn't happen, and then you're like, remember, you're waking up very early in the morning at 7 a.m. Wherever you work, it's the first thing, you just grab it, you put it in your mouth, and once that implantation dip doesn't happen, you're going to start being stressed from 9 days post ovulation. And then if you are like 12 days through that time, or like you spend 12 days after ovulation, so those 3 days, and then you're stressed, you're mad with your husband, you don't want to talk to anybody, and then that's all stress, it's building up. So if you have endometriosis or PCOS or anything that's creating like your hormones to, be imbalanced, or have infertility, or your quality of life is not good, so it's going to be very depressing and hard, and you're going to be thinking, that's all that's going to be going into your mind. And then afterwards you get your period, and that's the biggest disappointment any woman can have to go through when you're trying to have a baby. Because I used to just sit, not talk to him, not talk to anybody, just have to process what's going on. And then you're stressed through those next 4 5 days. And then the next 3 days after your period, you're still recovering, grieving the disappointment, and then you get excited to conceive again. So when you get excited, remember the cortisol is already in and disrupting all your progesterone, and then you're in between, you're getting all the estrogen, which is good, because most of us, like, who have been through this, we have estrogen dominancy, and we also discuss in our future episodes on how to address that. And remember, you're trying to conceive, you have just a few days to get back to your ovulation day, so you just have like 4 5 days, and then you realize that during that time it's been a stress cycle, from one cycle to another, to another, to another, so all your hormones, they are going to be disrupted, and that's how you end up, most women find out that they are having missed miscarriages. Implantation happened, but it didn't really go anywhere, and it's the stress, it's disrupting the quality of life, it's like the root cause of almost all issues.
Yeah, and with the stress, I mean, it's gonna add the extra inflammation down there, in addition to just disrupting everything. You know, like
Hmm.
you mentioned the endometriosis. I mean, it can turn into much worse. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I did have type 4 endometriosis, and I don't wish this to anybody. Yeah.
so getting back to the other study we did. So we also mentioned this other herb, rhodiola. So what is it? What does it do? Or what else can it do? It's a great adaptogen for the mental fatigue and the stress resilience. If you had to think of it like, if you're a player playing on a sports team and you're out on the field, like, let's say soccer, and you've been running for the first half, and it's like calling for that substitute. It's like, get somebody in there who's like full of energy, who can just take it away, and doesn't have any of the fatigue, doesn't have any of the um, stress issues going on, and is just able to go in and get the job done.
Yeah, there are also other herbs like blue vervain. That's really good. It's also good for men's prostate health. And some of these herbs, yeah, I know we talked about studies, but there are those herbs that haven't been studied yet, but they are also, like, from me, my grandma, she's, I think, 92 now, and these are like knowledge carried on from generations. Sometimes you just know something really works, like the gentleman we met from Mexico, and they told us how great soursop is. So some of these herbs, they have been here working for so many years, and maybe they haven't started yet, but it doesn't mean that. they are not effective.
Yeah, and we've mentioned before with chamomile as well. I mean, it's great for calming, but it's also good for the gut and your mind. There's also lemon balm. We use it regular in our day to day life. That has a calming kind of effect. It's great for the nervous digestion that's caused by the anxiety. And then another personal favorite would probably be peppermint. So this soothes the digestive issues, but also can clear the head.
Yeah.
So I know many people say don't try this at home, but we're going to say try this at home. So you can start by creating a your own nighttime ritual. So start with a warm cup of chamomile tea and maybe some lemon balm. Journal one thing that you're grateful for, and then dim the lights 30 minutes before bed is something that you can do. This will really help put your mind at ease. Tell your body that you're preparing for bed. It'll start getting relaxed. And as you do this and develop this habit day over day, your body is going to feel so much better. As soon as it gets that warm mug in your hand, it's going to feel like a hug. And then dimming the lights just kind of sets the mood. And the body is going to start looking forward to it, recognizing the signs. And you'll find yourself falling asleep much faster. We want to close with some positive thoughts. So your nervous system isn't broken. If you have stress, it's doing what it should be doing. You just need to give it the right signals. Um, we're all in this together. I mean, if you're burnout, overwhelmed, or supporting someone who is, you've come to the right place.
Yes. And feel free to leave any questions in the comments, and we'll be addressing them as in our next episode. Thank you.
Yep. See you next time on the Herbal Intelligence Podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.